Hey everybody, welcome to not this episode of Psych Media. I just wanted to do a channel update because everyone else is. Like, did anyone notice this that there was seriously like about a month ago that everyone was like my channel updates. And then you click on it, you're like, "Oh no, what's happening?" And it's just like, "I'm going to do things." And you're like, "Right. Right." So, yeah, I wanted to do a bit of a channel update because obviously there hasn't been an episode of I almost say you probably shouldn't cook this. No, that's one of the ones I do with Hagen. Hasn't been an episode of Psych Media in a while, and there's a few reasons behind that. One of them is my computer chair. You can't see this right now, but like I'm sitting on two different pillows because the hydraulic lift in my chair broke, and so if I were to record now, it kind of like would get up to about there because I'm short. But we're thinking about moving within the next few months. So when we move, I will give this old broken chair to Hagen, and then I'm gonna get a new one of the same kind. So that, I know I could sit on pillows, but yeah. So that's one of the things. One of the other reasons that I really haven't had time, I have a few scripts that have been done, but I haven't had time to fill an episode, is that I finally got my data for the PhD. We're running a lot of analyses, and I'm starting to actually write up my thesis because it's due in about a year. And I know that seems like a really long time, but when you have to basically write a anywhere from 70 to 120,000 word work, a year's okay, but it's not the best. Um, I'm not really worried about it. I mean, I've written a lot of fiction, so that kind of word count doesn't scare me. The only difference between writing a doctoral thesis and writing a fiction novel is that everything in your doctoral thesis has to be correct. You can just make shit up, when you're writing fantasy or sci-fi. You're like, yeah, the flux nebulator. We'll just hook that up to the warp core and everything will be great. You really can't do that in academic writing. It's frowned upon. So I want to try to get a few episodes out this autumn. Yeah. But then again, I mean, the fact that I'm doing the PhD is part of this anyway, so I mean, I'm sure that you guys knew that. And so that's why when I set up my Patreon, I wanted it to be by video, not by month, because I really don't feel comfortable taking money from people unless I've actually put something out there for people to enjoy. So I've got a lot of scripts that are either completed or close to completion, so including one about Steven Universe. I know people have been really excited about that. Bit of my thoughts about the movie as well. Um, but yeah. So something else that's actually kind of been interfering a little teeny bit with being on YouTube and producing kind of stuff is that back in January of 2019, I went to London and I spoke with a clinical psychologist, really great guy, clinicians usually are, and I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria after many, many decades of thinking about it. And in May, I went to see an endocrinologist who was happy to prescribe testosterone for me. And I've been on testosterone for, geez, over 5 months now. So that's a thing. So as you can tell, like some things are a bit different. I got my hair cut. My voice is deeper. I look so sexy. No, it's a lie. I don't look sexy at all. Some people have asked me, well, what led into this? Why now? If you've been feeling this way for decades, why suddenly now? And I'll tell you if you really want to know. I think it started when my back in 2017. My friend Ashley passed away from cancer, and she'd been fighting cancer for a long time, for many years. And then exactly 6 weeks later, my best friend Mel died, also of cancer. And she also had been fighting cancer for quite a while. Um, I'd known that the cancer was back, but I didn't know that the extent of how bad it was until I hadn't heard from her in a while. And then her son contacted me a bit before Christmas and said, "Hey, my mom's not doing well. The doctors, they're not optimistic." But I didn't know at that time that she was already in hospice. And she passed away in early January. And in between that, a member of my in-laws became quite seriously ill and, took a really bad turn about 2 days before Christmas. I mean, they're fine. They're fine. Complete 100%, better now. And then that summer, a good family friend of my in-laws passed away. And she was in her 80s and it was cancer. But we went to go visit her at hospice. at Foil Hospice actually. So if you ever have some extra money, do donate it to Foil Hospice because there's some great folks. Hospice folks usually are. But we went to go visit her, and she was not conscious at that time. And we were coming out of there, and Hagen mentioned to me how a family friend was the one who founded Foil Hospice, and she told me that when she was a little kid, she remembered her and her siblings helping to plant trees and plant the bushes around the grounds of what would become Foil Hospice, and that this friend that we were there visiting, she had been kind of been in charge of all the kids, like saying, "Oh, you go on, put that over there. Oh, put that there." And I said, so basically, she is reaping what she sowed, because now she was able to be cared for in hospice. And we were driving back, and I thought to myself, if I'm lucky, I'll end my days in a place like that, a very calm, very very quiet, very reflective place at an old age. And then I realized that I've got longevity on both sides of my family. No major inherited health issues. And so as long as I stay healthy, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, I could have another 40 or 50 years of life left. So why not? Why not be happy? And that's kind of, where things led. So yeah, so that's a thing. So don't be weirded out if I sound a bit different. But yeah, so that's that. So like I said, just a really short channel update, things that I want to get to, stuff I want to do. Still doing stuff with Hagen. Backseat critiques. You probably shouldn't cook this. I just recorded voiceovers for her for an episode, so there should be another one coming out soon. We actually record them very far in advance, and then because they don't take that much editing, if she needs a break from a particularly complicated episode, she can just put "you probably shouldn't cook this" up there in rotation. But yeah, I appear in some of her stuff. I will in the future. But yeah, so that's the crack. That's the crack of that. Um, so thanks everyone. Short channel update. Just in case you were worried that I haven't put anything up, I'm still alive. Everything's still grand. You can find me on Twitter. Let's chat, like we do. So bye.